Catfish might not be the most expensive fish on the menu, but it's certainly costing taxpayers a bundle. A new government inspection program has cost more than $15 million so far, and they haven't inspected a single fish. Another case of government gone wild. That's not even the worst part, actually. There's already a program in place by the FDA that does the exact same thing. It's hard to imagine that catfish is so dangerous. We need two programs. Or is there something fishy going on here? This is what I'm wondering. Joining me now is the Executive Director of Public Notice, Gretchen Hamel. Gretchen, what is the deal with catfish? First, it was part of this program, the $170 million that the Department of Agriculture used to help the farmers. They bought catfish there. Now they're inspecting them. What is the deal here?
Well, this is basically special interest at its best. You had the catfish industry basically lobby Washington in order to kind of rig the rules so that they could get ahead, and they basically lobbied to have this new program put into the USDA to actually check the fish to make sure it's safe, which is basically a tariff barrier to not allow imported catfish to come in.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't understand how they benefit from another inspection, and why have they, why has the government spent all this money on setting up the system? And I understand it's been going on for about 4 years, but they haven't inspected a single fish. How's that possible?
Right, $15 million they've spent so far. They expect to spend another $4 million, and over the course of 10 years, they are going to spend $150 million on a program that is a duplicative program that the FDA already has set in place to check on the safety of imported catfish.
Are catfish super dangerous? The deal. What is it that we're protecting ourselves against?
Well, you know what? I'm a good Oklahoma girl, and that's the only kind of fish that I grew up eating, and I never knew that it was so dangerous. But both the former safety and the safety chiefs for the USDA and FDA said, there's not a problem here, that we do not need this program, that there's not a big safety concern here.
Yeah, I'm still confused then. What do they actually say is the justification then? I mean, if the FDA is already doing the inspections, do they say that, and their program's so much cheaper, it's only $700,000. Are they saying that they're not doing it thoroughly enough, or they're not inspecting enough fish? I mean, you can inspect fewer than 0 fish, but I would assume eventually they're going to inspect some fish or something.
Yeah, their claim is that it's not up to the same standards of beef and chicken, which, every type of meat has its own concerns here, and every type of meat has its own safety concerns here. So, this program the FDA has is good enough for catfish. They do not need this duplicative program. But again, it's just kind of what we see happen in government. This is typical for government. And GAO released a report last year that talked about the number of duplicative programs that the government has in place. And we're talking about a program in USDA that hasn't even cleared one fish yet. They actually had a $2 million intern program that only hired one intern.
Wait, yeah, well, that's a whole nother story, and that one is
also
painful.
A whole nother story, a whole nother list of ways.
But I still don't understand how this is beneficial to the catfish industry. I mean, how are they they're using this to keep other fish out, or I don't understand. How does that work?
So it's basically the catfish providers here in the nation. They are making sure that they keep the imported catfish out, and they feel like this regulation, this extra clearance, will keep imported catfish from coming into the U.S. Therefore, the price of catfish, will go up and will actually benefit those who produce it here.
All at taxpayer expense. All right, Gretchen, thank you for that.
Thank you.